Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Catholic Narcissist Recovery. On a mission here to help you reclaim your life after narcissistic abuse. Today's question is, why do we experience so much grief after narcissistic abuse? Grief. Now, normally we think of grief, we think of death, right? We think of someone dying, going to a funeral, and grieving the loss of a loved one. And at first glance, you might not think why would I have grief after a narcissistic relationship? I have anger. I'm pissed off. I don't have any sadness. But actually, grief is one of those emotions that is sadness because of a loss. And it doesn't have to be a physical death. It can be a loss of something that we thought we had. And with a narcissistic relationship, we'll be grieving the loss of someone that we thought we loved and a version of someone that we thought we knew. There's also a lot of grief when it comes to how we allowed ourselves to be treated, how we allowed our boundaries to be crossed. Or there might be the grief of physical loss from what this individual and their treatment towards you caused you, right? Maybe that's loss of resources, children, connections, friends. Something was lost in that relationship. Or even losing yourself in a relationship. There's grief with that. And grief can be painful. And there's going to be a lot of it when healing from a narcissistic relationship, because we're trying to make sense of what happened. And there's going to be a lot of sadness when we come to realizations about the truth of the situation. When we're in relationships with these people, we've kind of lived a fantasy life and a fantasy view of who this person is. And with time, as we start to see really the reality of the situation and the truth of it all, there's a lot of sadness there because we realize that it wasn't real. A lot of what we thought was real, the love that we experienced that we thought was real, was actually use. It was being used, and it wasn't actually true sacrificial love. And that's a big grief too. And that's why I think we deal with so much grief, not just from a physical death. Grief is a big part of the healing process after narcissistic abuse. And it's really important for ourselves to allow us to feel those emotions, to really feel them. I remember seasons of my healing where I would just sob for hours, crying uncontrollably. And it was like a backlog of tears that I had to get out from years and years of just suppressed emotions that I was ignoring. And that's part of the grieving process. It's going to be messy. It's going to be ugly. It's going to hit you at random times. And we just have to allow ourselves to feel. Really just allow yourself to feel the grief and where it's coming from. Do you feel it in a certain part of your body, like in your heart, in your throat, in your lower back, in your stomach? And I think that a lot of times these other emotions that we might feel, like anger towards a narcissist, I think the anger might actually be masking a deeper sadness because of these wounds of sadness and of hurt and emotional pain that maybe we haven't allowed ourselves to process. So I just encourage you guys, if you are experiencing these difficult emotions, just know it's normal. It's totally normal. You're not going to be stuck in this season of grieving forever. It's just part of the process of allowing your body and your nervous system and your brain and your mind and your soul and your heart. It's part of the process of allowing it to all heal, and it will pass, and just let it be. There's a reason why God is allowing you to go through these painful emotions and is allowing you to experience this season of your life. Whatever we resist is going to persist. So just give yourself permission to feel how you feel and feel really sad or feel really angry. It's totally okay. And I know for myself with time, I'm still going to feel grief. It's not like it's gone forever, but it doesn't kind of take over my life now. When there were seasons of time when like all I could do is just really cry uncontrollably as I was processing what the heck was going on and what my life was like. So yeah, give yourselves permission to grieve, to be sad, to let yourself cry. Let yourself cry. It's so healthy just to get it out. And men, let yourself cry. You are not weak if you cry. You're not. Jesus cried. Jesus was a man. He cried. Let yourself cry. And if you need a space where you feel comfortable to cry because no one else understands your pain and your suffering, you can come journey with us. We're a group of Catholics and non-Catholics who have gone through narcissistic abuse ourselves, and we have a support group. And, every week, I'd say at least one person cries. Sometimes it's me, and that's totally fine. So, yeah, just don't be afraid of the pain, guys. Remember, it's just a season. God has a beautiful plan for your tears. He'll turn them into dancing. And stay close to the Lord. Go to a church. Let yourself cry there too. God will give you peace. And just let yourself feel your emotions. So those are my thoughts on why we experience so much grief, specifically after narcissistic abuse. Wishing you guys lots of peace on your healing journey and keep fighting the good fight. You guys are doing great.